Hello, Professor Bright here. Welcome back to A House of Many Doors, where last episode we met the Emperor of Chimer. We do not like him at all, and we have an opportunity to betray him, which we are going to be taking right now, because I despise the sort of dictator that he is. The people who claim to be leaders, but instead of leading, just terrorize the populace. Yeah, no, I'm not okay with that. So we are going to Penachak, correct? Yes. We're going to find out if Mayor Feverbeard is loyal, and if he isn't, we are siding with him because fuck the Emperor. I might be terrified of him, but I am more than willing to betray him. Heck, the only reason I'm actually terrified of him is because, you know, he's insane. Oh, what? Am I in a free state? Well, we'll look into that in a moment. Although that's very curious. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize you were here. I mean, I guess we wander the streets anyway. What the heck? Nothing. Nothing interesting at the very least. Nothing interesting to me. Still to the west. To the Purple City? Is that what that said? Ah, yes, Harlequin is technically to the west. And a wee bit south. Oh, hush, hush, hush. And I know, we were going to be dealing with the Bradley problem, but priorities, you know. This came up. It's something I want to address as soon as possible. Sooner we get rid of the Emperor and the people in charge of Harlequin, presumably, better off we all are. Collectively in this house, of course. They have a helicopter there. Hello. Oh, just the church. Yeah, nothing to be found here. Move along. Go. Yeah, that's not ideal. Yeah, that's Harlequin. Screw those people. We also found them last episode and other places. In fact, all the places that we've visited, plus Harlequin. Oh, dear. Gotta say, wasn't a fan of what we found at Harlequin either. The whole terrorizing the populace thing. Not my kind of deal. Leaders are meant to inspire. Or make those choices that the people don't want to make, you know. Do the right thing and all that. But, I don't know. Well, let me rephrase that. I know that the people in charge of not Penachak, Harlequin and Chimer are terrible people. By any measurement. Now, 2 more rooms? Alright. Let's see what we can do to overthrow them. We could hardly find anybody worse. Wonder if I should try to kill one of those wagons. Don't know. But now, yes, let's, examine the corpses more closely this time. You have to approach on foot. The scratch writing on the signs is tiny and illegible. You have to get closer than you'd like. A small town with a big heart, says the first sign. The second says, nothing wrong with being friendly. Welcome to Penachak, says the third. Well, that clears everything up. Hi. The mayor meets you in a rust-stinking, puddle-floored warehouse. He sits on one of the wooden barrels, legs crossed. Even for a patchwork man, he's huge, with a lobster claw at the end of one arm. His beard is an explosion of porcupine spikes. Strangest of all, though, are his eyes. One is human and mirthful, the other is an empty hollow, and deep within its recesses you see 2 smaller yellow eyes glaring. I paid the previous tax collector, says Mayor Feverbeard, smiling. And the one before that? It's not my fault if they keep going missing on their way back. Yes. Tell him you're not here to collect tax. In fact, if the mayor wants you to lie to the Emperor on his behalf, you can do so. Let's start ourselves a rebellion, eh? Feverbeard scratches his chin with his ponderous claw. Now why should I believe that, he asks. This could be entrapment. Or are you just trying to save your hide? Mayor Feverbeard searches your face for a moment, then grunts. Alright, I believe you. He hops down from the barrel. Full disclosure, I was about to literally kill you. Delightful. He drapes his scabbed, craggy lobster claw over your shoulder. My secret is that I love it here, chum. I love Penachak and I was born to be its leader. I can't answer to some distant tyrant, but can't risk a direct conflict with the Empire either, so I'm just quietly doing my own thing. Tell the Emperor I was fully cooperative, and that I've already paid my taxes. Before you can return to the Kinetopede, he takes you on a tour of Penachak, greeting every citizen by name and recounting the history of each hovel with immense affection. When you leave, he insists you take his gifts of wine and booze. Return to the Kinetopede. And actually, while we're here, let's go deeper into this Svartalfari. There's no reason not to, as far as I can tell. The Svartalfari smells of rust and salt and damp. You lower yourself through the topmost hatch. Head deeper, the corridors groan like a dying thing. You've reached the second unexplored floor. Hatch that leads down to the second floor. The rusted wheel screeches in protest. Head deeper. The second floor is darker, colder. The Svartalfari's rumbling is louder down here as it drills oil from another world. The floor is covered in oil, a rainbow like that extends as far down the corridor as you can see. Oh dear. Your feet skid and you go crashing to the floor. Once you've collected yourself, you realize that the oil is gone. The floor is metal and grimy water. Was the oil ever there to begin with? Head deeper. A melancholy song echoes from below, sort of similar to this one that we have in the background now. An open door, but as you approach it slams shut, the lock clicks. We did guile before, let's try guts. Forget subtlety, you bash the door down with a hammer. Head deeper. Far down the corridor, you see a dark figure between shadows. The corridor ends in a blank metal wall decorated by a ragged old health and safety poster. No way forward, no way down. Did you make a wrong turn? This place is a maze. A wrong turning? Never heard that phrase. Turn back, you hit a dead end. Well then. Let's try a village competition. Today's competition is corpse decoration. Addressing the contestants, Mayor Feverbeard informs you that corpses are awarded prizes based on 5 criteria: the friendliness of their welcome sign, the politeness of their demeanor, the stylishness of their dress, most effective concealment of odor, and outrageousness. You're handed a mostly rotten old man and a box of jaunty hats. I mean, how could I not? A test of insight. Make an honest attempt. Pinch your nose. Dead pleased to see you, kinda like that. You fish out the most outrageous hat you can find and apply makeup to the old man's face. Don't apply too much mascara or the maggots will burst from his eyes, advises a fellow competitor. You nod. Perfumes and spices to mask the scent, a fashionable scarf. What are you missing? Ah, yes. What will you write on the corpse's sign? You need to strike a delicate balance between friendliness and outrageousness, whatever that means. Just draw a smiley face. Tempting. Dead, pleased to see you. Oh. A town with a spirit de corpse. Tempting. Tempting. Yes. You step back to admire your handiwork. A decayed figure, skin ragged with decay, a stake fixing it upright. A town with a spirit de corpse, reads a sign around its neck. Excellent corpse work all, booms Mayor Feverbeard from his rusted podium. You're all winners, of course. and you will all receive certificates, but I will reward an extra special prize to the best of the best. In the end, your corpse does not win the special prize, though the special prize seems to only be a different colored certificate. Still, a foreigner competing in the corpse decoration contest is a notable occurrence, and the people of Penachak seem to be spending longer in your company before running away. Your corpse is put at the back of the crowd. Only a determined traveler would see its message. Fair enough. It's our first time decorating a corpse. These sort of things happen. Now, to the east. Because I'm curious. What? Oh, too much cargo. Ghost dice. Huh. No, I thought I had some lumber. Am I wrong about that? It'd be lovely if there was a way. Ah, there it is. Yes. But no, it'd be nice if there was a way to organize the inventory, just alphabetical, or category. One or the other, it would be nice. Anyhow, to this Mycenae Free State. I'm very curious. I know a little bit about the Mycenae now, sort of. But I haven't seen like a proper nation state for them. Huh. Well, not gonna worry about that. A church from another world, its spire sagging, its steeple fallen in, candle stubs and damp rotted holy books scattered the floor inside. You wonder if it was stolen on a holy day, perhaps an entire congregation was devoured by the dark. Looming above the altar is the obsidian statue of a grimacing goddess with bats for hair. Order it taken back to the Kinetopede. Looks like it could be valuable, but your crew mutter about a curse. That night you dream of bats. They sink their fangs into your skin and pull you apart, unraveling you like a ball of yarn. Nothing else to be found there. Well, I do believe that was a new god we just found. And now this, yes, tell me more, please. The doorway here is surrounded by barbed wire and mounted machine guns. A bored-looking patchwork man is sitting in a booth, and your entrance makes his heavy-lidded eyes momentarily widen. Papers, he grunts? He seems to be part rhinoceros and part walrus. Lots of horns and tusks and blubber. The rhinoceros guard just snorts and waves you through when you present your papers. Huh. The floor is bristling with fibrous stumps where giant toadstools once stood. Only a few clusters of fungi remain intact. A half-finished statue looms above all, most of its features hidden behind layers of scaffolding. A big-faced woman with compound eyes is standing suddenly at your shoulder. My name is Tremelia, she says sweetly, and I will be your guide for the duration of this visit. Welcome to the Mycenae Free State, home of the Chimeric Empire's Mycenae population. I see. Well, let's ask Tremelia for the recent news. Your face is reflected 1,000,000 times in her bulging eyes. The statue's construction has not been delayed at all, says Tremelia. There have been very few worker deaths, she says. Hardly any at all, really. Well, well, the state abides. Guide us, Tremelia. There are wonderful things for us to see here, she trills. Tremelia shows you all the wonderful ways we keep Mycenae happy and safe. You traipse with her past the stumps of felled mushrooms to a typical Mycenae household, built of brick and mortar. The Mycenae inside seem perfectly content if a little quiet. They have scars on their backs. She then shows you, at a distance, the line of happy workers on their way to a productive day, toiling on the statue of their leader and liberator. She hurries you away when one of the distant figures falls over, and a patchwork soldier starts whipping it. Shall we continue the tour, she asks brightly. Next up, the butter farms. Yes. Let's try to sneak away from this delightful person. A test of guile. Tremelia has patchwork guards following at a distance to ensure you don't leave her sight, but perhaps it would be educational to see the Free State without her guidance. You sneak away when Tremelia's back is turned. and spend a while wandering away from your scripted route. Soon enough, you start to see the real Free State. Mice and I scrabbling for scraps in the mud, or nursing terrible whip wounds, or weeping over the deforestation of their ancestral home. Terrible desperation and deprivation, fungal corpses lying out in the open, pecked at by birds. The mice and I stare at you dully as you walk past, they're too beaten down to register your presence. Return to the Kinetopede. The memory of the Free State clings to you like a stench or a scab. These people need to die. This empire, it needs to be taken out. Heading over to the Emperor to provide our report. I like them less and less with every single passing moment. Oh, someone else wants to speak to us? Oh, yes. Nearly forgot. Yes, she greets you with smiles and hugs and frothy banter. The scent of her perfume is overpowering. Not quite in the mood for this, but speak to Sandy about what happened in Keimer. She's hunched over something, humming merrily to herself. You realize that Sandy is hunched over a padlock, attempting to pick it with a hairpin. It snaps off in her hand, and she grins at you. What larks, eh? She says. What an adventure. And the best part is that there will be no consequences whatsoever. Why are you still here? With her second hairpin, the lock clicks open. She lets out a crow of delight. She greets you with smiles and, yes, we see that. Investigate her methods. Sandy is an inveterate liar, but her guidance through the house is invariably accurate. What's her secret? You corner Sandy and interrogate her about the uncharacteristic accuracy of her navigation. She just smiles sweetly. If it works, she tells you simply, don't question it. You spend the rest of the afternoon researching various means of divination that you suspect her of employing, but come up with nothing she could feasibly keep secret. How does she do it? You need to keep digging. And so we shall. Until we can't any longer. Which would be right about now. Excellent, got our insight up a little bit. Could make an argument for improving other stats first, but, well, I say. Yeah, I want to get that up to 40, then basically get to 40 all around, and then go from there. I think that sounds reasonable for stats. And you know, it's a good distraction from the just thorough disgust at the Chimeran Empire. They are not my friends, they are not my allies in any way, shape, or form. Interesting though they may be, because the whole animal hybridization, kinda cool. Well, I say animal hybridization, animal-human hybrids. Kind of interesting. Are you something I need? An abducted obelisk. Such options. But no, a standing stone from another world, runes have been carved deeply into the granite ruling work, though they look as spontaneous as knife slashes. The entire obelisk is streaked in something dried brown-red. Probably blood, it's usually blood. Let's read the runes. Perhaps it's a language you recognize. Oh. The runes tell a strange riddle and give a strange answer to it. Why is there light and darkness? Because nothing is as crowded as is nothing. A profound unease settles upon you. Time to scuttle off into the dark. I feel like I should be interpreting that riddle more, but... What are you? Oh, you're just like another dilapidated church. Which I guess I could go through, but... Sorry, just not feeling up to it today. Another little flesh beast. You can just keep going that way. It's fine. I don't want to fight you. Not in the mood. You, however, yes. Hi. No words on the radio, not even laughter, but guns poke from its sides. This might have been a bad idea. In fact, I'm positive it was. Let's, run along, eh? Bye. Sorry, I just had too many guns and no crew for me to kill. So it's like, yeah, I don't like the looks of that. Alright. I mean, the good news is that the music stopped briefly. A little unpleasant marching. Another 4 ways. There it is. Great. Music's back. Yeah, the marching armies and all that fun stuff. Ah, dear. I mean, it's fitting for this particular empire. Ugh. Disgusting country. Yeah, I'm just gonna give you some blinding hooch and... there we are. Uh-huh. Report to the Emperor that Feverbeard paid his taxes and everything is in order. It's good to hear that Feverbeard is still loyal, says the Emperor. He is back soaking in his green bath, and he scratches at the white curls on his sagging chest as he talks to you. The man used to be one of my best soldiers, but still, this just proves I'm surrounded by incompetence. Tax collectors going missing, bah! A likely story, they just ran off with the money. A shrimp-headed servant brings you a bag of gold. Then it scuttles away as fast as it can, antenna waving, while the Emperor continues to rant. Another task. I have another task for you, says the Emperor before he can leave. My own city is turning against me, the Emperor says. The faces in the walls, the twisting streets. A dozen patchwork soldiers vanish each week, or are killed by traps. I need you to convince the city to stop killing my men. He waves you away dismissively and begins scrubbing his back. Well then. That might be a bit of a challenge. Let's go for it. The Emperor has assigned a trio of patchwork soldiers to accompany you. A woman with the head of a rhinoceros, a man with human eyes above a dog's snout, and a hideous agglomeration of too many parts to name. They don't give their names, so you mentally nickname them Rhino, Dogface, and Stew. 500 years ago, Chimer was a metropolis, gurgles Stew through one of its mouths, but by the time the Emperor invaded, it was dying. Just a few thousand souls picking their way around an empty city built for millions. The walls of Chimer's streets are covered in watching faces, some solemn, some silently shrieking. Their eyes follow you as you walk. It is said that you can talk to the city itself if you reach its center, rumbles Rhino. How did many of Chimer's citizens die? I suspect I can guess. No one really knows, says Stu, six of its eyes swivel to focus on you. The rest flit nervously to and fro. Some say plague, some say evil spirits, some say the governor. Interesting. Well, I suppose what my original theory was going to be was just starvation, but then you don't need to eat here, do you? There was something with Otto. He said something about not really needing to eat around here. Around here being in the house. Huh. Well, we'll worry about that in the near future. Who was the Emperor before he came to the house? That's an interesting question, says Stu brightly. Some say that we are forbidden to speak of it, snaps Rhino. Stu quails from her and shuts all its mouths. Fair enough. How did the Emperor take over Chimer? He came from another world, leading an army of disciples to find the secret of immortality, says Stu. Chimer was easily taken. There were so few citizens left, and they lacked a leader. After that, he marched to Harlequin. Harlequin did not submit so easily. It took 3 sieges. By that time, half the disciples were dead, and the Emperor was in need of new servants. This is when the first patchwork was manufactured in the grotesquerie. Fall silent in an attempt to make your way to the city's center. So he's a cult leader, it sounds like. "Where's he gone?" asks Rhino suddenly. The dog-faced patchwork man is nowhere to be seen. The stone faces are whispering, urging you this way and that. The bronze bells toll. The streets twist and change beneath your feet. When you look back, you don't recognize the way you came. Rhino attempts to draw along the wall, but one of the stone faces eats her chalk. A slight advantage here. Ah, angular parabolas, manifold streets. Oh. Interesting. But no, just a test of esoterica, please. Luckily, you've studied the histories of Chimer closely. The oldest histories of Chimer, before it was conquered by the Emperor, talk of how citizens used to navigate. The faces would whisper directions to true citizens, and whisper falsehoods to traitors and enemies. You listen carefully to where the faces tell you to go. You go in the opposite direction. Clever. Although it doesn't seem to have gotten me through. Fair enough. Test of vigilance. Chimer's full of traps. Ensure you avoid them. We keep a careful watch for traps, leaping over tripwires, stepping over stones that look like pressure plates, and ducking under any peculiar holes in the wall. You're struck by how few citizens actually live in Chimer. Occasionally you see shadows scampering across rooftops or glimmer-eyed watchers in the alleys, but mostly the streets are empty, though not quiet thanks to the incessant whispering of the faces in the walls. Toward the end of the day, Rhino pauses to tie her shoelace, and a dozen arrows fly from a trap in the wall beside her. She falls dead, her thick rhino hide punctured all over. Now it's certain Chimer's trying to kill you. Or get me by myself, interestingly enough. A test of insight, let instinct guide you. The streets here are treacherous. You're sure you've passed the same rusty guillotine trap 3 times. Could the city's layout be changing? Failed an insight challenge. Give up, you're hopelessly lost. I suppose I have no choice. You've given up on Chimer, but Chimer hasn't given up on you. Trying to find your way back out is just as maddening as trying to find your way in. Dogface, Stew, and Rhino are all gone. Deadly traps assault you at every step. Whirring saw blades, swinging pendulums, bubbling pits of acid. By the time you get back to the Kinetopede, you're bleeding from a dozen shallow wounds, and you can hear the faces whispering even when you're alone. A horrifying ordeal, but there we are. The bells of the city peal like laughter. Well. Could have gone better, could have gone worse. Explore the Maze City, why not? I think we know how this ends, but let's see. Leave him to his suffering. Nothing to be done, really. Although I wonder if I should save him just to... because that might get me someone else from my Kinetopede. Oh well. And this again, same deal. Just mingle. You circulate, listening in on conversations that are really none of your business. The nobility of Chimer obsessing over run-of-the-mill intrigues, forbidden affairs, blackmails and counter-blackmails, the occasional conspiracy. Leave, this place smells of sweat and desperation. Fair enough. I suppose it was asking too much to be able to take out Chimer in one episode, but progress is being made. We now know what we need to get into the heart of the Labyrinth City. In theory, possibly. But it's resources that we don't have access to just yet. Perhaps in the future. But for now, thank you for your time. Note the like, comment, and subscribe buttons below. Use them responsibly, and I shall see you all soon.